Hey everybody, how's it going? So, a few days ago, I hopped on stream with the Farmers Market P5X guys, and we discussed a lot of topics, but one thing that we touched on briefly and kind of got me thinking is about the 6-month standard banner jail. And with Cherish just around the corner, the looming question hanging over mine and many others' heads is when will he be added to the standard banner? To preface this, for those who may not be aware or were not around early in the game's life cycle, on global, a big controversy surrounding the game was the 6-month jail that the standard premium units were going to be put in. It started with Marion in version 1.2 when they announced that they would not be adding standard premium characters to the standard banner pool immediately following their limited banner. The way it worked on the other versions of the game was they had the standard banner for the premium units like we do now, Marion for 2 weeks, Phoebe for 2 weeks, etc. But immediately following that banner ending, those characters would get added to the normal standard pool. So if everything were equal, we would have Marion and Phoebe in the standard pool to potentially be pulled on the normal standard banner with gold tickets, available as losses on the 50/50 banner, and available from the 165 pull item thing you get from the newly added 110 banner. The devs initially sort of reinforced the idea and mentioned they were not going to be adding Marion or Phoebe to the standard banner sooner. They claimed it was to make it more fair to people who did use premium currency to pull the characters, and they wanted them to be able to have an advantage of having those units for a while before they gave everyone else a shot at getting them. But they did mention they were going to look at how they did it going forward when they gave that apology announcement following the backlash from the original decision, which leads us up to where we are now. About 6 days away from the recording of this video is the 2.5 2.6 combined patch livestream, where we're expecting Cherish's banner to be announced in the 2.5 portion, and considering we will also be covering 2.6, if they had a decision to make on what happens to Cherish after his banner ends, you would think they would have to announce it in this stream. Otherwise, we would have no information on when he'll be joining the standard pool as far as we know right now. This begs the question of what they're going to do with Cherish. I have been saying for some time now that I think they're going to do away with the standard jail. Call me hopeful, call me whatever, but I just think they learned their lesson and they're not going to continue to push this 6-month thing when they know it would make almost everybody angry. Now, to what degree will they change it? That I don't know. But I would be shocked, frankly, if they continued with the 6-month thing going forward. They seemingly can't change what they've already put out about Marion and Phoebe, and it is speculation, but considering they said they're going to look at how things are done in the future, but would not be changing Marion or Phoebe like I said, it led others and myself to believe there's some kind of legal ramification behind maintaining this 6-month holdout for those two units, because they stated it explicitly beforehand, which could have potentially led to people spending money in-game to get the units. They may be forced to maintain the 6 months for those units to comply with some kind of spending, gaming laws, whatever it is. Though for new units going forward, if no time frame is specified beforehand, I doubt they're locked into the same legal handcuffs they've put themselves in initially. So to actually address the main topic of the video, what do I think they're going to do with Cherish? Well, like I said, I don't think we're going to have to wait 6 months for Cherish. I would be shocked if we did, frankly. But I would also be shocked if they added him to the standard pool immediately following his banner ending. It just seems like too big a leap forward. From 6 months to 2 weeks, I think we're going to get a reduced wait time for these standard premium units going forward, and my guess is going to be a 1-month wait. And you might say, well, why do you think that? Why wouldn't they just leave it at 6 months? So there's a few reasons, but firstly, we can take a look at their track record to try and glean what they might be inclined to do. I think to their credit, they have been fairly quick in at least acknowledging the problems voiced by the player base on a number of topics. Even if that hasn't always resulted in the outcome we were looking for, they've at least acknowledged the problem. They changed how they did the live streams for us on global. If you were around to remember, there was a patch where I don't think they even put up a translated version of the stream until after the patch had come out. It was totally unacceptable, but they took responsibility and they did change it. We haven't missed one since. They provided compensation for Marion's weapon not being in the weapon case after that whole debacle. They gave us premium units in the pool of characters you can claim for the Cognitite shards, and they're going to add more as we go. Now, is that a low bar? Maybe, but those are a few examples of things they've changed based on feedback and things we really didn't expect to get at all. So if they're capable of doing these good things, they must know that this banner jail is a bad idea, right? So why do it at all? And as with most things, the answer is money. The purpose of the standard jail is to create FOMO for people to spend money or premium currency on these standard units instead of just waiting 2 weeks to try your hand at the standard banner or 50/50 or whatever it is. And I don't think they're going to want to lose out on that potential FOMO spending completely. Do I think that's a dumb reason? Absolutely 100% yes, I do. I typically feel like anyone who wants the units right away are going to get the units right away, regardless if the wait's 12 months, 6 months, 1 month, whatever. People who want Cherish or Marion or Phoebe day one I think are going to pull her day one regardless. But on that same note, do I think the 6-month jail did help them make money? Yes, I do. I think there's a portion of the player base who was on the fence, that the wait time did influence them to pull when they may not have done so otherwise, which is why I'm predicting this 1-month wait. I think it's enough time for the in-between player, not the whale who's going to pull everything anyway, and probably not the free-to-play player who's going to want to skip these units for more premium units regardless, but the low spender who will be influenced to pull the unit, but not overwhelmed by the wait if they don't. These games are about making money at the end of the day, and they'll never do anything that would significantly decrease the amount of revenue potential they would have to make, even at the cost of their own players. Is that short-sighted? Yes. Is that the reality of this gacha space? Also yes. We only have 6 days to wait to see if I'm right. Maybe I'm just a hopeful idiot, and they keep the 6-month jail and tell us to deal with it. Or maybe I'm too negative, and they will give us the units after the 2 weeks like they do on the other versions. They've created a uniquely interesting situation for themselves where they originally played the villains, but can now make themselves look like the heroes. An easy victory lap for fixing a problem they themselves created. I just hope they take the opportunity to do so. Even though the standard is low, I will celebrate them all the same if they pull through. And I know this was kind of a short one, but that's kind of all I really had. Things are slow in-game right now, and with this longer patch, I've been doing a lot of thinking about kind of the future of the game and things that are to come. And this is something that was tangible, and I think we'll have answers to soon, which is why I wanted to talk about it a little bit with you guys. So let me know what you think about the standard banner jail, what they're going to do with Cherish, what you're hoping to hear from them in the comments down below. And thank you for watching. As always, I will see you guys on the next one, and have a good one.